The Fed made buying a house one of the best investments you can ever make. Unlike the stock market, where everyone with a few dollars in their pocket can buy stocks, the housing market is different. So for today's video, we will be going to talk about 5 secret banks hide from you for the next housing crash. Are you intrigued by what these secrets that banks hide from you? Just keep on watching. The Federal Reserve dropped an atomic bomb on June 15th, shocking everyone with a 0.75% rate increase. Since 1994, this rise has been the largest. That will have a disastrous effect on the housing market, which already suffered greatly as a result of the Fed's most recent interest rate increase. Even though it may be challenging to anticipate anything falling when it is ascending so quickly, let's consider what is occurring on the ground. Realtor.com analysts claim that an increasing number of house sellers are reducing their prices in specific areas. This is actually significant since we've seen incidents similar to this in the past 6 to 8 months, where buyers were willing to overpay for a home in order to be ones to purchase it. It appears that the days of home purchasers placing bids are ended. As we go into a new area, retailers may need to engage in a pricing war to draw in customers. Redfin said at the end of May that almost 1 in 5 purchasers had lowered their asking prices, which had not happened since October 2019. Behind that, there is a clear explanation. Mortgages are used to buy the great majority of homes in the United States. Most specifically, more than 60% of residences have financing. The amount of debt that borrowers can take on with their present income decreases as a result of rising borrowing costs brought on by Fed rate increases. A smaller mortgage reduces their options, which lowers demands, forces sellers to cut their asking prices to sell, and so on. The credit rating company Moody's granted Fortune unique access to its most recent, in-depth, and confidential research of the American housing market. They looked into whether residents with nearby earnings might support nearby dwellings. National home prices are 24.7% overvalued through the first quarter of 2022. In comparison, Moody's Analytics found that national home prices were 20.9% overvalued in the fourth quarter of last year. It's only a matter of time before demand for house declines noticeably when the difference between house prices and what people can afford is too great. When that occurs, you can tell the market is overvalued. Because of this, specialists at Atlas Research discovered that more than 25% of the homes currently on the market have reduced their prices. In its data, Zillow also noticed a similar pattern. The percentage of price reductions on Zillow's house listings increased to 6.44%, the biggest weekly share in more than 5 years. The path of the market is ultimately determined by economic laws. The supply of housing, at last, reached its pre-pandemic level in January of this year. Mortgages remained alluring, nevertheless, which encouraged purchasers. But today, the market has undergone a significant transformation. The supply of properties on the market has increased significantly over the past 12 years, not just modestly. The last time the supply of homes was this high was in May 2010, just following the 2008 financial crisis. There are obviously numerous causes for this, but one of them is undoubtedly the seller's realization that prices won't continue to rise if they continue to hang on to their assets. The upheaval has already started, and they have achieved their zenith. Tomorrow might be too late if you don't sell today. The supply of properties is at an all-time high due to the desire to sell before mortgages become unaffordable. That's actually an extremely risky indication of the state of the market, since it shows that the lack of homes on the market wasn't caused by a lack of construction, but rather by buyers who were reluctant to sell while waiting for a better chance. What proportion of the available homes was held by the sellers on purpose is the matter at hand. If that number is too high, we could find ourselves in a market with lots of available housing, but insufficient demand, which could easily result in the kind of calamity we saw in 2008. Over a decade later, 2008's effects are still being felt. The issue is that the American economy is not prepared to handle another catastrophe of this nature. The economy is already being impacted by the problems the nation has been dealing with for the past 2 years. Mortgage rates have already reached 6.3%, and in only the past 6 months, the annual cost of purchasing a home has increased by more than 50%. Since 2008, that represents the highest mortgage rates. Mortgage rates have increased by 3.2 percentage points in the last year, which is the largest increase since 1981. As a result of rising mortgage rates, many prospective borrowers who couldn't satisfy the bank's necessary debt-to-income ratios are no longer eligible for loans. However, buyers who are unafraid of paying more money will just have to do so. We won't fully understand how much demand is likely to decline over the next months for a few more months. And if the Fed rises interest rates once more to above 2% as some experts predict, by the start of 2023, things might go really bad. Of course, experts are reassuring us that a crash won't occur, and I sincerely hope they are right. However, they also anticipated that by the end of 2022, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate will increase from 3.1% to 3.3%, since so many factors will affect the Fed's policies over the next 12 months. We cannot state with certainty what to anticipate. The United States is attempting to strike a compromise between controlling its own affairs and opposing Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which is driving up inflation globally. Rising rates won't make a significant difference on their own. If inflation continues to rise, home prices are unlikely to decrease because inflation will just drive up the cost of building new homes, which will at least hold prices steady. The Biden administration has already made it known that the president will travel to Saudi Arabia in order to persuade the crown prince to raise oil production in order to bridge the gap and finally bring down oil prices. But it remains to be seen how negations will develop. Therefore, external variables have a significant impact on the way that housing is moving as well as the Fed's policies. So, which secret surprised you the most? Please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoy this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to Wealth-ology for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you in our next video.